Hey, on the phone with me this morning is Douglas Viviani. You've heard Doug before on Saturday nights here on KVGC, a show called Everything Old is New Again. And we got together earlier in the week and thought, hey, let's talk a little bit about the show every week. So, Douglas Viviani, good morning and welcome to Jackson, California.
Thank you very much, Jim. It's an absolute pleasure to be here, and I'm looking forward to spending some time every week with you and the audience, and we'll get to know each other and have some fun, I think, every morning.
Now, you and your co-host, David Cohen, you guys you've been friends since high school?
Believe it or not, yes. I'm not going to tell you how long ago that was, but it's a faded memory at this point. But yes, we go back to the old high school days. We used to, believe it or not, stay after high school together, and there was a late bus that everyone would take if they stayed for some kind of activity. We just stayed together to hang out and make fun of people or just have some fun along the way in the hallways and things. So that was our activity, and we developed a good relationship and a very good chemistry, I believe, that translates on the radio very well to just a hometown fun feel to the show. Was there
a high school station back then?
There wasn't, and we actually tried to do something ourselves. We were in a band as well, so what we did was to the football games we would bring out a generator, and we would our own speakers from the the band and a couple of microphones, and we would announce the football games and get ourselves in quite a bit of trouble because it was unauthorized, and we would say some things that sometimes were not usually said at football games just for jokes and what have you. But we sort of started it that way, and we went to different colleges, but we also pursued radio at the college level, and then we became professionals and kind of forgot about our dream, and we're back to our dream now at this point.
So you've decided to throw the professional life away and get into radio.
Yeah, sort of, yes. My professional life has taken a little bit of a back seat to something that is my passion, which is the radio. And I think that's a kind of a nice lesson for my kids and others that are willing to listen, that if you follow your passion, you become, I think, more happy, and work is not work. I think we've heard that before, but when you're doing something you love, it's really not work.
I mean, I tell people every day I wake up, I've been doing this for 40 years now, and I don't consider this a job. I just consider this the place I go every day for 8 hours or so, and hang out with, talk to my friends, and it's a great. I've joked to you off the air about it and joking a little bit on the air, but it is a great industry, and welcome to the brotherhood. So
thank you very much. I appreciate it. Certainly, you're dedicated to the field and the profession. That's for sure. You're up, I'm sure, 4 o'clock in the morning or something of that nature every day to bring your show to the community. So I think that shows your commitment, and you've been around 40 years, so you're doing it right.
Hey, listen, let's talk about the show, okay? So Everything Old is New Again. It airs every Saturday here on KVGC at 6 o'clock on Saturday nights. And it's a great lead-in to our oldies, our old-time radio show, because you have something for just about everybody on that show, young and old.
I think so. We call it America's pop culture talk show to put a label on it, but it's kind of hard to put a label on it. Because what we do is each week we take a different topic in pop culture, and we examine where it came from, how it's evolved, and what's happening now in that particular topic, genre, whatever it might be, that we're involved with. Whether it be the Avengers movie that's coming out now, we'll talk about comic books and in the 60s and how they developed, and even before then. Or we'll talk about many topics. And what I think is interesting, we're finding that the people that are listening are anywhere from 20s to 60s, and it's something they can share together, in that a younger person listens and they hear the contemporary nature of the topic. Of course, everything is new again, is the aspect that they seem to be drawn to. They want to hear what we're talking about, the current topic, of course. And then the more experienced, let's say, listener is someone that will, of course, hear that and want to listen to the topic, let's say, but they'll also go back and want to hear the retro part of it, because we do a lot of clips and we do a lot of sound to try to bring back the memory and bring back a little slight education, if you will, as to where the topic came from. So there's a nostalgic retro feel that they like. And I think I get this all the time where people call in or write in, and they'll say how they enjoyed the show. They listen to the podcast afterwards, let's say, if they didn't listen to it live with a family member, and they go ahead and are able to share that with each other from different points of view. And it leads to some what we call arguments you love to have.
There we go. We're talking with Douglas Viviani. Doug is the host or co-host of Everything Old is New Again, Saturday evenings at 6 o'clock here on KVGC. How true that last statement was there. My son, Jake, who works here at the station, is in his early 20s. He and his friends do a Saturday podcast that they put together. It's a video. They have their own YouTube channel, and they talk about games that have just been released, computers, how to build computers. They go over contemporary issues of the day and so forth. And as they're prepping and getting ready for their show, they listen to your show. And Jake will come home, or Jake will talk to me during the week and say, did you hear Everything Old is New Again? Did you hear this? Blah, blah, blah. And I'll say, yeah. But he comes away with a different take on things that I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So.
And it's definitely something to talk about, and maybe it gets them to maybe listen to or investigate that particular topic from that angle in the past, and look up the old, let's say, an old Doctor Who show or an old Star Trek, and then you're excited to experience that with them, and they want to show you, let's say, the new Star Trek incarnation, if you will, and you could share it together. So it really is fun. We do a lot of topics like that with like The Walking Dead. Where did it come from? It didn't just develop onto the radio television out of nowhere. It came from The Living Dead, and we go through that. We try to do it a fun way, which is it's not like a school class. We have a lot of different activities, and we've done like what is the best sitcom of all time, and we've done game shows to try to challenge each other. Scorpion is a new show that's on the air with. It seems to be making the nerd cool with the Big Bang Theory, so we talk about that, and where did the idea of a nerd come from, and how it wasn't so revered as it seems to be now. We interviewed all the stars of Black Sails, a TV show that's been renewed for its third season now on Stars, and we talk about the pirates and where they came from, and how back in even 27 BC, Julius Caesar was kidnapped by pirates, and needless to say, they met their fate, and mostly talk about the entertainment aspect of this. So it's a real fun point of view, I think, that everyone can listen to and just have some fun with radio. There's a lot of serious things going on in the world, and there's sports to consider and financial things, but we think that with the radio we can have, let's open another door to some fun that we can have with the radio as well, and I think that's what we're really trying to promote on the show.
You did a show a few weeks back about Saturday morning cartoons, and I was listening to it. I'm thinking to myself, my kids watch cartoons every day because we have SpongeBob is on every day, all these other cartoons now, and I don't even think anybody watches cartoons on Saturday morning. Are there cartoons on Saturday mornings anymore?
There are. It's just a continuation of all the cartoons that there are every day, every week. But they are still developing new cartoons. There's Timu, if you're familiar with Timu Mizumi, or there's Jake and the Neverland Pirates, Sophia the First. These are shows that Disney's gotten involved with, and Nickelodeon. So they are promoting and still producing cartoons, and it's changed a bit. Back in the day, 60s, 70s, even 80s, you would be left alone by mom and dad because it was your time. Programming was on Saturday morning was developed just for you, the kid, to listen to and watch your favorite superheroes or whatever it might be that you're interested in, and then at 12 o'clock, the mom and dad would say, "Go out, leave us alone. We'll see you at 5." So it's a different world now, but. We developed that, and we try to see what's happened to that, and what's happening now on Saturday mornings, and with these cartoons, it's still there. Sure. Do people DVR them and watch them on Saturdays, or they just watch them at different time? But they are there, and they've changed their feel a little bit. It's much more educational now, but I think they've kind of gone through some growing pains, and if you listen to those or watch those shows that I've just mentioned, you can actually still watch them as an adult and experience some fun, and they're not just dry experiments in education. So it's developed, and it's a lot of fun to experience. We did a bunch of clips of all the old ones, so if you're familiar with the old 60s, 70s, and 80s cartoons on Saturday morning, you'll bring back, the Dutch Show will bring back some great memories.
Well, I don't want to labor on just one show because I want to talk about what's coming up this week, but you jogged my memory during that show of the Banana Splits. I used to watch the Banana Splits, and you think about it now, and you go, what the hell was that show? I mean, remember there was Danger Island on it. There was the Musketeers on it. There was the Arabian Nights. There was the live action of the, Fleagle, Beagle, and Drooper and Snork, or whatever their names were. The whole thing. I'm thinking, hey. So anyway, Doug, let's not talk about the past. Let's do the future here. Everything old is new again. This Saturday night, 6:00. Every Saturday night, 6:00 on KVGC. What's this week's topic?
This week we have the pleasure of speaking with the wife of Stanley Kramer, who might be familiar with your audience if you mention a couple of movies like Inherit the Wind, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, Judgment at Nuremberg, Mad, 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 Mad World, which is a terrific comedy. These are older movies that the wife of Stanley Kramer, who's now passed away, is the wonderful director and producer of movies. She experiences with us and brings us back to the behind the scenes of all these movies and speak about Spencer Tracy and Milton Berle and some of these older gentlemen and ladies that really made the way for movies with meaning today. And there's a Stanley Kramer Award that's now being presented by the Academy Awards every year for movies that have meaning. Some movies you may be familiar with, Great Debaters, Antoine Fisher, Precious, Hotel Rwanda, and this year's award went to Fruitville Station. So we'll talk about that and why are they on with us? Why do they want to talk about Stanley Kramer and all the old classics that are terrific movies that if you haven't seen, you may be inspired to watch. But also, in today's world, if Stanley Kramer was around, these movies with meaning are being awarded so that they can help to promote and bring to us, we like the Avengers, we love the Avengers, but does it have that much meaning to it? These other movies and Stanley Kramer's legacy are movies with meaning, and so we're going to explore that and see what that's all about.
All right. Douglas Viviani, thanks for visiting with us. We look forward to talking with you every Friday here on KVGC, and we'll look forward to listening to you and David every Saturday night at 6:00. It's Everything old is new again. Douglas, thanks for calling us today.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the weekend. I look forward to speaking with you soon.